I'm going to Kansas City. If I could, I could. I'm going to Kansas City.
Hey, welcome everybody to another episode of Chopping It Up with the Cleavers. My name is Emmanuel Cleaver III.
And I'm Emil Cleaver.
Check us out every Tuesday, most places you get your podcast, and YouTube, Chopping It Up with the Cleavers. Make sure you go to KC Magazine, vote in for Chopping It Up with the Cleavers as the best local podcast. You can vote as many times as you want. So every time you hear an episode, vote.
Yeah, we'll put the link again in the description.
All right, so a lot has happened. In addition to all the shootings that we've talked about over the last few weeks, there's some things happening in the entertainment world. It's been talked about. D.L. Hugley, great comedian, and Monique.
So we're going to lighten it up this week. The last few weeks are kind of heavy, so we're going to lighten it up just a little bit this week.
So apparently they're doing this show together, and Monique believes that she's the headliner, even though DL calls her and asks her to join the show. So she believes she's the headliner, and she finds out, as she's saying, backstage that she's not. So she goes on stage, and instead of telling her jokes, she starts going off on DL. I know if I bought tickets, I'm like, I don't want to hear this. I want to hear something funny. I want to laugh. But she goes hard on DL and then puts her contract up on Instagram to show, I guess in her mind, that she was the headliner. And, of course, DL said nothing could be further from the truth.
Yeah, so they've been going back and forth. So Monique goes on stage. Let's get a little deeper into this. Monique goes on stage and calls D.L. Hugley all kinds of coons. Let's get it straight.
Okay,
so she starts calling him a coon. She calls out Steve Harvey, calls him a coon again.
Coon.
I don't know how he got brought back up into it, but he's a coon. And so she starts calling him a coon, starts talking about she feels sorry for his wife.
Yeah, that's a little too much.
Yeah, I mean,
that's a little
come
too
on,
much,
man.
And his kids.
Yeah, it feels sorry for his wife and his kids because D.L. Hugley's not a man and all this, and so that was her jokes, I guess.
That wasn't funny. I'd be like, hey, you gonna tell some jokes or not? I paid all this money. I know the tickets weren't cheap.
Yeah, they weren't cheap.
You need to be funny, Monique.
So yeah, she does that, and of course D.L. Hugley comes in and he addresses it the next day on his radio show, and or maybe a couple of days later on his radio show, and says and points out, before the problem was Lee Daniels, before the problem was Oprah, the problem was Steve Harvey, the problem was Charlemagne the God. Can't remember who else he named. So now it's his turn. So it seems like Monique, if you all remember, Monique used to, has been going off on quite a few people in the industry, calling them coons and.
She said she was blackballed in the industry because
of these people.
Yeah, but like DL said, I mean, if there's one common denominator in all of it.
Sorry,
I mean, I don't know the conversation. What DL and her had, but
I don't think they had a conversation. It was the promoters. She went backstage and she was told, not by DL, but she was told that she wasn't the headliner. So it wasn't a conversation. DL said they haven't had a conversation. If you listen to what he's saying, they haven't talked. This is just.
Well, I'm talking about to bring her.
To bring her in
because and he said, against his better judgment, and people warned him, he still invited her. But here's my thing. Just thinking rationally. If I'm already on tour and I invite you to join me, why am I going to ask you to be the headliner? I mean, that doesn't make sense. I'm the headliner. You're just joining me.
Yeah, but the strange thing about it, for those who don't know, her husband.
Yeah, that's who people point to, that
is her manager.
That he made the contract.
And so someone pointed out, I was watching Corey Holcomb, his podcast, another comedian, And he was saying that the contract was made out by her manager / husband / daddy. What? I mean, she calls him daddy.
Oh, for real?
Yep. What? You haven't seen that?
No.
Okay, so after DL came out, she came out the next day with another video, her and her daddy, her husband / daddy, which is a sick, if you think about it, somebody who's sleeping with.
Well, back in the 70s,
daddy.
you say, hey, mama, you're going back to the 70s.
Okay. So her daddy, they're sitting there, and so she starts going extra low. She went extra low. So she brought out a clip where D.L. Hugley was talking on Sway. I think it was Sway, and he was talking about how his daughter came to him before and said that one of his friends had touched her inappropriately. And he was like, he didn't believe her at first. He didn't believe her, and he was saying because he wouldn't do anything like that, and it must be a misunderstanding or whatever. And so, he was saying how he could understand why people wouldn't believe Bill Cosby did this. That was his point during this thing. So she brought this up
to say what? What was the point?
I'm telling you. She's saying, look at him. He can't even protect black women. This is what she said. He can't protect black women. He didn't even protect his own daughter, and just trying to further the fact that this is a coon. Now, this is all over contract dispute. Now you bring in his daughter into it. Yeah, so his oldest daughter, this is on Instagram. She came to Instagram and says, our family is fine. Everybody in our family loves each other. We're all good. You claim to be some protector and savior of black women, but all you've done is attack black women. You've attacked her, D.L. Hugley's wife, who had nothing to do with your contract. You attacked his 2 daughters, which have nothing to do with your contract. So, we're trying to understand. You claim, you need to watch her video. It's kind of sad. She calls her followers my babies. Come on in, my babies. Come on in. Check me.
So she needs to be talking to somebody other than her husband, daddy.
Yeah, her husband, daddy
might be the downfall.
There's no question who's the downfall. He's her manager, right? Who else does he manage? That's how you know. That's how you know. That's how you know.
So you're saying nobody else is asking him?
If you are a manager and the only person you manage is your spouse, that means you're probably not a good manager.
Probably not.
So
she was doing well.
Yeah, she was doing.
She was on an upward trajectory.
Yes, she was. Yes, she was.
But yeah, maybe she's listened to him, and maybe he may not have any idea of how the entertainment industry works. Maybe it's a cash cow for him.
Yeah,
but he's ruining a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it seems as if he's ruining it. It seems as if Monique is just burning bridges everywhere she goes. 50 Cent apparently is supposed to be hiring her for a new show, the BMF series. She's supposed to be on that, and her and Lee Daniels made up. So she's talking about on her this, she's answering D.L. Hugley, who was on the radio after the stand up. So she's answering that, and she's saying how Lee Daniels is a real one.
Yeah, but after this
3 months ago, he wasn't a real one.
He's real because they made up.
They made up, and he's supposed to be putting her in a movie.
Yeah, but after this incident, people need to be leery.
I would be,
because maybe she's cool with it, but you got to talk to her husband, manager, daddy.
Yeah,
and he might not be cool. I don't know. It's a dangerous thing to have that partnership, that man. She as she brought up, she closed for the queens of comedy. She's like, you opened for the kings of comedy,
and he closed. But if you look at their Instagram, that's how you go about popularity. He does have over 2 million followers, and she has 1 million, so he does have more followers.
Question. He has a show on the radio, a nationally syndicated radio show.
Yeah, and she hasn't been doing anything much lately. So, he does have a bigger following. He's written 2 New York Times best-selling books since her Oscar win. She was on that trajectory, like you said, but
Yeah, he's got stand-up specials on Netflix.
Netflix, yeah.
She
So
turned hers down because she wanted more. She was
wanted
offered
more.
$500,000. She's like, I want with Amy Schumer, Dave Chappelle. And you got to realize, I mean, your worth. I understand you got to say what you're worth, but you ain't Dave Chappelle money. I mean, let's be real. Not even Amy Schumer.
Nah, I mean,
You're
I
not.
don't think Amy Schumer's funny, but she's packing stadiums.
Yeah,
I mean, not stadiums, but auditorium. So yeah, I mean, when you're doing that, you can demand more than somebody, you know, who has an award but can't fill a stadium herself. You know,
Not now.
not like Amy Schumer. So yeah, I mean, I think she's burning a lot of bridges. These two black comedians, though, these two very successful black comedians going back
All
and
in
forth.
the public.
I mean, I know DL is pretty much just defending himself, but in my view, that's how I see it. I see if there was a problem with the promoter or possibly her manager / husband / daddy.
Yeah, I mean,
So I don't know how
all he was trying to do was hook her up.
hook her up with.
He's trying to help her.
Yeah, she was mad about that. If you look at her Instagram, she's like, "How you gonna hook me up? You know, who are you to hook me up?"
Man,
You know, I thought you had seen that.
he got millions of people listening to him every single day.
Her response. So she was. She's
So
kind of
get some
upset
help.
about it.
Get a new manager. Get a new manager. Maybe
Yeah, that ain't
I
gonna happen until
I know.
unless a divorce
Yeah,
happens.
that's gonna be rough.
So yeah,
Rough
I don't.
to go say, hey, Daddy, I need a new manager because I ain't working with you, and since I'm the only one bringing in income, your income depends on me.
Yeah, that's
So that's
a problem. I would think.
you would think. No, it is. If you're married and one person's income depends on another person,
Yeah,
I mean that you're gonna run into some problems.
yeah,
And
yeah.
so-
Yeah, hopefully, Monique can calm down. It doesn't look like she is. Seems like this is what she likes to do. She likes the confrontation. My suggestion, I know she'll probably never hear this, but
She's gonna hear it.
maybe you need to settle some of your differences behind the scenes.
Yeah, hey, everybody wants to do it public. I mean, going public is not going to solve it.
Not this problem.
No, you got to sit down and talk, man.
Not against DL. I mean, if it's against a corporation,
Yeah, that's
or
different.
something, I could see. But you're going against
When you're going
a
against
person.
another individual, just work it out. That goes to all you kids out there. Don't settle
So you're
stuff.
saying she's acting like a kid.
I mean, come on. You're gonna settle it on social media.
Look what this person did. This person came to my house and did this. Everybody, look, and I need to tell y'all what happened in my personal life.
How's that gonna solve anything? Because you put it on
Every-
social media.
Well, they want people on social media to choose sides. Nas talked about that in the song. You want people to choose sides.
Yeah, I agree, but that at the end of the day, that's not gonna solve a problem. You
No,
gotta
it's
sit down
not.
and
It's
talk.
not.
So-
It's not. But we're in the social media era.
Here we are. We
where
are.
you can say
But still,
anything,
man.
and you don't expect
So
to get
Monique-
smacked in the mouth.
If you have problems with individuals, go talk to them.
And work on some jokes.
Yeah, because that wasn't funny. What you did was not funny. I'm sorry. I know you can be funny.
Yeah. Well, people were saying that I read. Well, Corey Holcomb, comedian, saying that she did that because she didn't have any jokes to tell.
Man, that would
So that was why she had to do something, say something like that, because the jokes are gone.
work on some jokes. I got a few I can
Yeah, I'll
give you.
write some jokes for you.
I got a few.
We're
So
gonna-
that's in the entertainment industry, but
Yeah,
there's still much going on.
Entertainment news.
So Moses Ingram,
More entertainment news.
who's playing in the series Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Is that the name?
That's the name of it, Obi-Wan
I'm talking about
Kenobi.
that's her name?
Moses Ingram is the actress name.
Okay.
That's her real name.
All right.
She's a black woman.
Yes.
She played in Queen's Gambit. That's the other movie I remember her in. That was on Netflix. It was a limited series. And so now she's playing in Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi, Moses
Star
Ingram.
Wars.
And apparently Star Wars fans are
livid.
racist.
Yeah, we had to just say it. Star Wars fans. There seems to be a section of Star Wars fans that are racist, just straight out racist.
It's crazy. because
So tell them what happened.
they are upset and they're blasting her on social media, calling her all sorts of
Coon.
names and all of this,
N-words.
even death threats,
Pickaninnies.
all because she's a black woman
Mammies.
playing in this Star Wars
Jezebel.
thing. Now, Ewan McGregor, who's the star and executive producer of Obi-Wan Kenobi, he's playing Obi-Wan Kenobi. He came out and he was happy. He did something on Instagram saying that it was the highest rated show on Disney Plus ever. But he was also saddened to hear the threats and all the craziness that Moses Ingram is receiving. And I'm glad he did that.
So what are they? Yeah, I'm glad he did that too. I mean, yeah.
And he said that if you are doing this, then you are no Star Wars fan in his eyes.
In his eyes, but there's a history of racism in Star Wars. I'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
But so what are the people saying online? I mean, they're mad that she's black and
Yeah, they don't want somebody black in Star Wars. Why are black folk in Star Wars? That was our place.
Star Wars. So this was when Star Wars first came out. The very first Star Wars, Johnny Carson had Carl Sagan on his show. Carl Sagan, astrophysicist, brilliant person of his day.
Public intellectual, Neil deGrasse Tyson of his day.
Yeah, so Carl Sagan goes on Johnny Carson's show. Did you watch the clip that I sent?
Yeah, I did.
So
Yeah,
Johnny
he's dropping knowledge.
They're asking him about what do you think about the new Star Wars movie, and he's like, "Well, I wish they would have made it a little bit more realistic." And Johnny was like, "Well, what do you mean realistic?" And he was like, "Well, in space, it seems like white people are in control of everything. You telling me that white people are in control of the universe? That's not realistic." He's like, "There's no people of color in space." This is in the first Star Wars before they brought on Billy D.
Yeah, and he was the only one.
And this, now that I've seen this clip lately, that may have been part of the reason why Billy D was brought in on the second film, because of criticism, like people like Carl Sagan, who's saying, black people are going to be in space. I mean, they're going to be part of space. The aliens, even the aliens were subservient or beneath the white people.
White people run the galaxy.
In space, in galaxy.
The universe, whatever.
They run everything, the white people. And this is what Carl Sagan is saying in the 70s.
He's a white man.
So that's why I say there has always been a section, a hint of racism in Star Wars, and this goes to the saying that the black actor, that young man, British black actor who was in Star Wars, and I can't remember.
I think it was The Force Awakens.
Yeah, so he received death threats, and he was called all types of monkeys and pickaninnies. Well, I guess can a man be a pickaninny?
I don't know. He was called names.
Coons. He was called all types of racist names.
But that's crazy. I mean,
because he was in a Star Wars. They don't want black people in space.
These fans. I mean so they in their minds. When we try, if we're ever able to travel to other galaxies,
they don't want us to be there.
No, it'll be all white folk.
They don't want us there
because these people are not from Earth who went to space. These are people in Star Wars who are from this galaxy.
Right.
And so in their minds, George Lucas,
who's married to a black woman.
Yeah, but he should come out and say something. I mean, I know he's, it's just under him. Anyway, but they expect that it's going to be white people in other galaxies running. I mean, that's rough on us, on people of color.
That's ridiculous.
That's rough on us.
Princess, just think about this. Yeah, it's rough on black people. That means if we ever intermingle and we're able to travel the galaxy, we'll be slaves again. Because remember, Princess Leia, she came from a planet, a galaxy. It was destroyed, but she was the princess, which means that her galaxy was all white. And Luke Skywalker, the planet he came from in the desert was a white, controlled by white people. I mean, these are different planets in the galaxy that are controlled by white people. At least in Star Trek, the aliens were, well, I guess they were, some of them were white, but most of the aliens were different. That ran the different planets were alien.
They look different. Yeah,
at least a little alienish.
Yeah, but I think it's with science fiction. Some folk have a problem with black people in it.
Yeah, like we ain't gonna be in science fiction. We're not gonna be in the future.
I mean, that sounds
Man,
crazy.
We're not going anywhere.
So Moses Ingram, do your thing. I watched the first 3 episodes. She's good. She's good in it. She's the villain.
She's the villain.
Yeah,
well,
she's the villain. But
no, they really don't like her.
But you would think, okay, if she were a good guy, maybe I can see, okay, the black person can't be a good guy or the hero. But she's the villain in it. So, and they're mad about that. They don't want her in it at all. But here's the thing, all you people who are mad about that. James Earl Jones. James Earl Jones
is Darth Vader.
Yeah, I don't care that it's Anakin Skywalker, but James Earl Jones is the voice of Darth Vader. He's the voice of Darth Vader in this new series, Obi-Wan Kenobi. So you can be mad all you want. You love Darth Vader, and that's a black man.
Carl Sagan, when he was talking to Johnny Carson, he was saying how at the end, when everybody was getting the medal, they didn't give Chewbacca a medal.
Only the white people.
They gave all the white people medals, but they didn't give Chewbacca a medal. He risked his life.
He was there right with Han Solo.
He was right there with Han Solo, saving these white people.
That's crazy.
But they didn't give him a medal in the end. Carl Sagan pointed this out. I never even noticed it.
Yeah.
I never even noticed
dropped some knowledge. It was that, but you know that this is not only happened in Star Wars, but it happened when Michael B. Jordan was playing the Human Torch in the Fantastic Four. They remade the Fantastic Four. You already may remember this, and people went berserk that the Human Torch, he's not supposed to be black. How can he play black? And the people were upset.
How can he be black? Man, he's made up. He's make believe, dummies.
There is no such thing as a Human Torch. But when they were talking, but when in the comic book, in the DC comic book, when they made Green Lantern black, people had a fit on that. But if you understand, the ring chooses. Yeah. So it's not like that there's only one Green Lantern. But people got upset that they had a black Green Lantern again. People, there's no such thing as Green Lantern.
I'm sorry. We have to break that to you here.
Hold up. There are a lot of people like, what you talking about?
Thor and Black Hawk and all these Spider-Man, they're not real.
So they can be whatever color you want them to be.
Dummies.
It doesn't matter. There's no Green Lantern. He can be black. He can be Asian. He can be Latinx. It doesn't matter. And I don't, so... That was crazy, but Moses Ingram, keep doing your thing. I enjoy the series. I'm not a big Star Wars fan, but she's good.
I'm not a Star Wars fan at all, but maybe I'll watch it just because she's black and people are cheering against her because she's black. And she's an American black too. Yeah,
but that's the worst kind of black to those fellas.
That's the worst kind of be. To white
American
people.
Black. I mean, that's crazy that people are upset. Just look at the show. Do you like the show? If you like Star Wars, if you're a Star Wars fan, you're going to like Obi-Wan Kenobi because it's good. It's in between.
Ain't no black people in space. Ain't no black people in space.
And she's good. She's good in it. So. Entertainment, that's craziness. Black people and Latinx people and Asian people, we didn't get mad when we watched the Lord of the Rings drama.
Yeah.
I mean, there were 3 Lord of the Rings, 3 Hobbits, and there was not one.
Not a single.
Not one.
Not a
black
single.
character. Not one.
Not a single.
So not only are we not going to space, are we not supposed to go to space?
We can't even go to the.
We can't even go to the Middle Earth, the made-up Middle Earth.
Man,
they got hobbits, they got goblins, they got elves. They ain't got no black folk.
Man,
no brown folk.
Man, they got a tree. They got talking trees,
tree beards, all that.
Wizards,
and I liked it. I love the Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings, but.
You talking about fantasy? That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe number one. I would say
it is mine, but they didn't have any black folk.
No black people,
but we still went to go see it.
Still would see it.
Just like and folks started complaining when every black person in America went to go see Black Panther, but I heard folk complaining. Well, why are they making all black film? Why?
That's ridiculous, and people did say that.
Yeah, but they had white folk in it.
Yes,
but Lord of the Rings had no black
part
people.
Of the heroes.
Absolutely. There was one white villain. There was a white villain, and there was a white guy who was on the good side.
Yeah.
But they just, I mean, This stuff is made up, people. So
Yeah.
it's made up.
Yeah,
Lord of the
but it just
Rings
shows the racism.
Yeah, it's real.
Even in Hollywood, I mean, even when you go to your movies, you want to see it. It just goes. Audiences want to see racism in their movies as well. They want to live it, but they want to see it on screen.
Yeah, it's real. It runs deep in America. So we're gonna stay on entertainment before we get to our top 5 list.
Just talk about this real quick. It's been hot, so I just thought we had to mention it. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. So I know
drama.
You talking about more drama. So have you heard the song Kendrick Lamar, We Cry Together? I think that's the name of it. Where him and his girlfriend are going back and forth. A brutal song. That's what this relationship is. Johnny Depp was one of the biggest movie stars in the world. Amber Heard, his wife, said that he physically abused her and beat her. A court disagreed, said that she was lying. And if you looked at her testimony just for a second, you would say she is a liar.
Everybody thought she was lying.
I mean, she is clearly a bad actor, a liar. And I'm not saying Johnny Depp was perfect because he is an abuser. I mean, he goes beyond abusing alcohol and drugs. So, but yeah, the court said that they didn't believe her, that they thought that maybe she was the abuser.
Didn't somebody defecate on?
Yeah.
So
I didn't get all deep into it, but apparently Amber Heard defecated in the bed or something.
On the microphone.
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy relationship. She was boo-booing in the bed.
Come on, man.
Yeah, that he was
That's
sleeping
nasty.
in. So I guess when he wakes up, there's boo-boo in the bed, and she tried to blame it on the dog.
I would wake up in the middle. If somebody's doing that while I'm in the bed.
No, he's drunk. He's out. He
Okay,
doesn't see it.
yeah.
So she's just up in there boo-booing.
I would wake up. I'd be like old boy in Godfather when he found that horse. If I woke up and saw it, I'd have been screaming.
Yeah. But he woke. Yeah, well, I guess it was I don't know if he touched it, waking up.
It rolled over in it.
But man, this is a sick relationship. But hopefully Johnny Depp can get the help he needs with substance abuse and get his career back on going.
She needs to get hers. Was just going. She was
Yeah,
in
she was just
an
going.
Aquaman movie.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work out for her now.
No, I don't think people are gonna be calling on her.
I don't think she's
Unless
going to
she
get
gets
too
some
many
help.
more acting jobs. It may take her a while, but to recover from this. But yeah, she's having some issues,
But you know what? People recover. I mean, well, let me say, there are some people who have recovered. Mel Gibson recovered.
yeah, the racist Mel Gibson
From his stuff.
the racist anti-Semite Mel Gibson.
But I don't know. Maybe because he wasn't as big enough star, Isaiah Washington never recovered.
Mel Gibson was a pretty big,
No, I'm saying, I know Mel Gibson recovered because he was a big star, but I was saying there's another star who I don't think he recovered. I haven't
about
seen
the
him.
black dude.
Isaiah Washington, who
yeah.
was on some show.
homophobic
Yeah, he said some
stuff.
homophobic
I think it was
things.
Grey's Anatomy. or
Yeah,
something.
Grey's Anatomy. But he didn't go on a rant
Yeah.
on and on. He made a
Mel
comment.
Gibson.
Like Mel
Like the
Gibson.
racist Mel Gibson.
Mel
I think
Gibson made a comeback. He's in movies again.
Yeah, I think you almost have to say before you say Mel Gibson, you have to say the racist Mel Gibson.
Yeah. So, and the races, maybe Isaiah Washington wasn't big enough because he
didn't come back.
At least I haven't.
And he was a good actor. He was a good actor.
Yeah. So maybe he's in some other things I haven't seen yet, but
Yeah, I'm sure. So she'll probably come back. People will forgive her.
she's a white woman, so she has a good chance.
Yeah, very good chance. So she'll probably come back. Johnny Depp, hopefully he'll come back. But the trial, they had to make a movie of this trial and this relationship.
I didn't pay a whole lot of attention.
I mean,
a lot of people were talking about it.
The talking about it and the clips that I've seen. This is a movie. This is a TV movie. Right now, you can't even make it TV because it has to be rated R. This is a movie. I mean, it is exciting. I want to see the actress that shits in. That boo boos in the bed,
Defecating on your microphone.
So exciting trial. A lot going on in Hollywood. Everybody wants to be a Hollywood celebrity, but this is what these crazy people are doing.
Going through drama.
It's crazy in Hollywood.
they're regular people
Regular
who
people.
experience drama.
They're regular people with just a lot more money and a lot more fame.
That's it.
That's it.
But they still have to go through everything we all go through, and we see it over and over, time and time again. Some of them just need some help, some serious help.
A lot of them need help. They don't live in reality.
Yeah. Well, part of the reason they don't live in reality because we worship them.
Worship.
I mean, people ask me, okay, how come back in the day they had gods that they worship? I'm like, they're gods today. They're called celebrities. I mean, people worship. We have celebrity worship. That's why kids growing up, they want to be famous. Well, what do you want to do? I want to be famous. Yeah, how do you want to be famous? Whatever it takes. I want to be famous. They got a show right now called Teenage Mom, Teenage Pregnancy. And to me, that's the craziest thing because in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, if I'm a teenager, well, I can get on TV by having a child when I'm a teenager.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all about fame.
Yeah. No talent. You don't even have to have talent to be on television.
And they'll tell you, hey, I have a fit. I want you to go over. They call it reality TV, but of course it's staged.
It is.
I want you.
Staged.
The producers are up there. I want you to go over there and slap him, and we'll see what happens.
No, they don't tell him to slap him. They're more like I want you to go confront him, and then if that ends up in a slap, it's cool. But they can't tell you slap. Go confront her. She said this about you on camera, you know. And then they give them drinks. They make sure they have plenty of drink.
Always
drink.
Wherever they go, they're going to have drinks.
There's drinks everywhere.
And they just set up opportunities at parties and stuff for stuff to go down. All they do is have get-togethers.
Oh, yeah, get-togethers.
When do these people go to work? When do they do something else? It's just yeah, I had a problem with her, so I asked her to meet me at this restaurant. Yeah, we know it's about to go down.
Plenty of glasses and things that can break.
It's crazy. It's the morals of our society, but we've deteriorated too. But that's entertainment. People watch it. I don't watch it. I got some folk in my house that watch it, but I can't. I can't watch that stuff. It doesn't. I'd rather watch something scripted, something that's good. But that's entertainment. That's what's going on. I know there's a lot else going on in the world. Still trying to, if you have not done so yet, write your senator, wherever you are, your senators, asking them to pass Bill H.R. 8, universal background checks. But like we said at the beginning, we wanted to, go in a different direction this week.
Take it a little easy. We'll probably be back. I mean, because so much has happened. There was there was a mass shooting in Philadelphia last night.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Come on. That's crazy.
13 people injured, 3 killed.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, but anyway,
so
we'll be back with that.
We got enough drama in entertainment. A lot of drama in entertainment. But what's also going on right now, the NBA Finals. The Boston Celtics against the Golden State Warriors, who now play in San Francisco. Are
you supposed to say that the Golden State Warriors, who now play in San Francisco?
They used to play in Oakland.
So, but you don't have to say that.
Man, why not? That's what they keep saying. This is the first NBA Finals ever in San Francisco.
Oh.
I mean, it's a big deal because they have this new arena.
Okay.
So
when they move the Royals, I hope they don't say that.
Well, we don't. We'll see if they move the Royals.
Okay.
Of course, if they do move, they're gonna say, yeah, this is a brand new arena. The first.
Yeah. If they move them to Kansas, if they move the Chiefs to Kansas or something, they're gonna say,
yeah, they'll still be Kansas City because it's Kansas City, Kansas, but. I'm sure they'll say, yeah, this is the first NFL game played in Kansas or something like that. But hopefully they'll stay in Missouri. I know the Chiefs belong both sides of the state line, but let's keep them where they are right now, centrally located. Anyway, NBA Finals going on, Boston Celtics, Golden State Warriors. Steph Curry started on game 1 to put out a performance that perhaps was going to be legendary. He cooled off in the second half, and Boston took over. But it made me think, what are the best top 5 single game finals performances? Now, we're not talking about over the course of the finals. We're talking about one game, top 5 finals performances. So I think I'm going first this week. So number 1,
Why don't you start with number 5?
Oh, yeah, number five. Number 5. I have Giannis Antetokounmpo for the Milwaukee Bucks. Played last year, 2021, against the Phoenix Suns. It was Game 6. It was a closeout game for the Milwaukee Bucks. And Giannis, Greek freak, he went off. I mean, he said, I'm going to win this. The Bucks will win this series. Not only will we win the series, not only will we win the game, we're winning the series. So Giannis put up 50 points, 14 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 blocks in a closeout victory. I have that as number 5. And I know there's some other great ones out there.
There's a lot of them.
And we're going to miss some.
We're going to miss a lot.
But I'm talking about the ones I like. The other one, this one, I remember watching it, and even though they did not win the game, it was still a great performance. 1988, the Detroit Pistons with the Los Angeles Lakers, Isaiah Thomas has a banged up ankle. He's hobbling all around, limping, trying to get around, and he's still balling. He's like, he did all that he could on a hurt ankle. I mean, you could see him, he's limping. And he put up 43 points, 25 in the third quarter.
And the Lakers weren't showing him any mercy.
Yeah, no. They were knocking him down. Yeah.
Trying to bang him up and hurt him even more.
And this was back in the day.
This is when you could bang.
Yeah, NBA was a little more physical than it is now. I mean, you could, they allowed you to touch a little more.
Yeah, they banged Isaiah up.
Yeah, and he still did his thing. So mad props to Isaiah for that performance. Number 3, 1997. Chicago Bulls against the Utah Jazz, Jordan. Everybody's saying he has food poison. You can clearly see that when they're having timeout, that he's hurting. At one point, Scottie Pippen is carrying him, helping him to walk.
Yeah, Scottie wouldn't do that today.
No. Even though, I mean, they were never really good friends, but he was sick, and so the announcers kept saying he has the flu. He has the flu. It actually turned out he had food poisoning. But he kept saying he's going to play, and he's going to play through
Michael
it.
Jordan.
38 points, plus the game winner.
Michael Jordan.
Food poison. Yeah, it's only a few folk can do something like that.
Of course, that's on my list too.
Yeah, Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan are the two people that come to mind that with
have
food
willpower.
poison. Yeah, I mean those two had willpower. So that was number 3 on my list. Number 2. Allen Iverson, Los Angeles Lakers against the Philadelphia 76ers, Game 1, 2001 in Los Angeles, overtime. Allen Iverson, who pretty much had to do all of the scoring.
Yeah. There were no scorers on that team.
All of it. He had a good, solid team, but nobody could score except him. Yeah,
good
rebounders, good defenders. Snow ran the point well. But in terms of scoring, Allen Iverson had to do it. He put up 48 points, overtime, and then that iconic move situation with Kansas City's own Tyrone Lue. Yeah. That step back. I mean, it was. I mean, Lakers played him hard, but Allen Iverson, he's one of the toughest, maybe the toughest, pound for pound that the NBA has ever seen. So that Game 1, 2001, number 1 performance of all time that I have, Magic Johnson, Game 6, 1980. Kareem went out. Kareem deserved the MVP. There's no question. And they were going to give him the MVP. And it's disputed. It's disputed why it didn't happen. Was it CBS or the NBA? Because Kareem wasn't there because he was hurt. So I've heard that it was CBS that said, no, we need somebody there. We give it to Magic. I've also heard it was the NBA saying, no, we need to give it to someone who's here, Magic Johnson. But Magic Johnson had a great single-game performance against the 76ers. He put up 42 points, 15 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals, 1 block. He played every position. He was balling against Dr. J's 76ers.
Dr. J was balling too.
Yeah. But Kareem balled that entire series.
Yeah, he was.
But that's the single game. I'm going to give it to Magic Johnson, 1980, Game 6.
Cool, yeah, and that's pretty much what I think. But my number 5, I have Michael Jordan, Game 6, 1998 Finals versus the Jazz. 45 points. 45 points. I mean, those two series against the Jazz, Michael Jordan pretty much balled. He showed his dominance his last 2 years of greatness, last 2 years winning the championship. But, yeah, he balled that year.
He did it.
Yeah, I mean, he did his thing. He just that was the push-off. This when he pushed
Byron Russell.
Yeah, but for the game winner, pushed him, blatant push. But it's Michael Jordan, so you can push.
He got away with the push, man. I mean,
so you push.
He was
people.
clear.
Number 4, I have Rockets versus Magic's 1995. The Dream. The Dream Shake. Hakeem Olajuwon, 35 points, 15 rebounds, 6 assists. Game 4. They swept them dudes. This is Shaquille O'Neal, Penny Hardaway, but Shaq had to learn, and Olajuwon had to be the one to teach him.
Elijah doesn't get a lot of props. When people start talking about the greats, I rarely hear Olajuwon.
Yeah, he schooled Shaq. The Dream Shake. I mean, he was unstoppable. He did it. He put it on it. He put it on him.
He was cold.
Yeah, he was nice. So my number 3, Big Game James Worthy.
Thought about that one.
Game 7, 1988 Finals versus the Pistons. 36 points, 16 rebounds, and 10 assists.
Man.
And he was probably out kicking it all night the night
Why you say
before.
that?
Come on, man, James. You know James's reputation. James was a partier. I mean, it was pretty clear when he got busted with those hookers. I mean, come on.
That was just a one-time thing.
Yeah. So Big Game James. I mean, he partied, but he still came to show up, and he did it he had that nice little spin. This was Isaiah's Pistons that they didn't win that series because Big Game James was on them.
Big Game James.
And they, he put him on. They couldn't stop him. He's another player. I mean, that Lakers team. They had Kareem, they had Magic, but they had James Worthy. He was considered the other big 3, the other big star of that.
It was a tough team.
Of that team, and he won the MVP that year.
I remember.
So my number 2, 1997 Bulls versus Jazz. Michael Jordan plays with the flu, 38 points. I mean, like I said, he said it was later discovered that it was food poison, so I'm sure he had some type of diarrhea.
Man.
So you just think about going out there playing with diarrhea.
That's tough.
That's tough, man. That's tough. Most people wouldn't have done it, but he did it.
He could have easily jumped and squirted something out.
And
But
But that's Michael Jordan. Not only can he control the court, he can control his bowels.
He's able to shift organs
while
he's in flight.
While he's in flight, man. So that was an incredible game. Michael Jordan. You could have put him on here several times, actually.
Yeah, you could put LeBron James on there, too.
Yeah, LeBron, I mean, Kobe.
Yeah.
They had some good games. Number 1, of course, Lakers, Sixers, Magic Johnson, 42 points, 15 rebounds, 7 assists, game 6. Like you said, Kareem, the MVP, the best player in the league at that time, period. There was no question.
Absolutely.
But he was hurt. So Magic had to come up, play center, played everything. I mean, he dominated against a very, very good 76ers team. They didn't have what's his name yet to win it, Moses Malone yet. But they still had Dr. J, one of the greats. But Magic Johnson was able to prevail.
Have you seen Winning Time yet?
No, I haven't seen it yet. I need to check it out. Did they show that series?
Yeah. I mean, that's how, season 1, it ends with them going to the finals. But it talked about, Kareem winning that the sports writers voted unanimously that the Kareem would win the MVP. But because he was hurt and wasn't there,
so did he get the trophy or what?
No, Magic Johnson got it.
Okay, so I wonder if you look up his stats, does it still say he was the sports writers MVP?
I don't know.
AP Sports Writers MVP.
I don't know. Norm Nixon's son plays Norm Nixon in the movie.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Norm Nixon and Debbie Allen, or is it Norm Nixon by or not someone else?
It's Norm Nixon. They haven't shown Debbie Allen yet. But season 1 is over. But his son, Norm Nixon's son, and looks just like him, plays Norm Nixon. So I know people are complaining, saying, people who are in it, that it's not real. They got some folk who were on there.
They got some
who were in
people that
those teams. I mean, Norm Nixon's son was in it.
Yeah, he was a kid.
Yeah, but I'm sure he
He's
talked
heard
to his
stories.
father about it.
He's heard some stories.
Yeah, I mean, he had to play his father.
I'm sure he knows some of the players that played growing up.
No question.
Yeah. It's probably exaggerated, but it's probably
absolutely.
a lot of this stuff
It's
that
based
they're
in
complaining
reality.
about is probably true. Some of the stuff they just probably don't want you to know about. The Lakers,
who
that
would
complain, and Jerry West and all those people, they just don't want you to know about it. But I mean, it's probably 50-50. Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But that's what we have. Best finals performance in a single game. Let us know what you think. I know there are a bunch of other out there. Some of the younger folk might, of course, put LeBron James. He had a bunch of good performances. Steph Curry.
Kyrie Irving.
Kevin
Dwayne
Durant.
Wade.
Yeah, Dwayne Wade he almost made my list. So there's some other ones out there. Let us know what you think.
Let us know.
Let us know what you think.
Be sure to vote.
KC Magazine, best podcast. It's under arts and culture. Is that what it is?
Yeah, arts and culture. I'll post it in a link in the description. And we've been saying it, but one day we are gonna have a guest. We need to work that out soon.
Yeah, we're gonna have a guest and looking to have a live audience.
Yeah, so we'll let you know. Hopefully you can make it.
Check us out every Tuesday. We drop a new episode. Check us out on YouTube. Chopping It Up with the Cleavers. Most places you get your podcast. Peace out.
Peace.
I'm of the modest. Here I am. I come. That's where I'm from. I say I'm going.